So, Carol, you have been hired as an influencer. I think you have probably gone out and found influencers for your clients to help rep your clients. Influencer marketing is pretty hot, and it's something that companies and agencies are allocating time, energy, and resources to. But I think a lot of people are a little fuzzy on what the heck it is. Can you tell us what it is and what it isn't?
Is why, like you said, I was actually an influencer before there was anything that was called influencers. I'm like OG on the influencer side. I'm also invested in an influencer platform called Tiny Sponsor that helps brands connect with influencers in a marketplace setting. And the reason influencers are great is that it's taking word of mouth marketing and it's sort of professionalizing that online. So if you think about the way things spread, back in the day, I had a great meal somewhere. I call you up, Catherine, we're talking, and I say, oh, you got to check this out. Now we're doing that online, and I'm saying, oh, this is great. And not only are you seeing this, but 56,000 of my other followers are seeing this across different networks. And those authentic endorsements from people who have followers of their own that they trust are important. And it doesn't have to be somebody that has a ton of followers as long as they have a lot of engagement. In fact, the statistics have shown that sometimes these micro influencers that maybe only have a couple thousand followers get a ton more engagement than even some of the celebrities. And so it becomes a very cost-effective way for a small business or a big brand to do their marketing and to leverage the voice of influence.
So it seems like if you were looking for influencers to help boost your awareness in the marketplace, you would want to tap and reach out to somebody who was getting in front of the people that you want to get in front of. Yeah. That's what you're looking for, right?
The brand alignment. So the first thing that you do, again, plug for the company I've invested in, is go over to tinysponsor.com. There's an automated way to do that. If you reach out to them, they can also help you customize. But even if you do that, what you're trying to do is you're trying to align yourself with influencers who are putting out the type of content to the type of audience that you want to reach. So there's sort of a double alignment. And you have to make sure that they're not only aligned with your brand in terms of their general posting, but in terms of their brand safety, because there are a lot of us who talk about things that aren't just sort of for me, I talk about business, but I also talk about politics. There are a lot of people in beauty who also talk about pot or alcohol or drugs or whatever it is.
Vaccinations or whatever.
Yeah, so you have to be very careful that you don't end up aligning yourself with somebody who ends up doing the wrong thing. I think the other thing is that you also have to be patient, particularly on the B2B side, but on the B2C side as well. A lot of people don't make purchasing decisions with just one post. Like anything else, it takes a bunch of exposure points to it. And so I would say engage with an influencer over at least a 3-month, but preferably a 6-month or longer period. And that's when people will start to associate that person with the brand and really hit them when they're making that purchasing decision. I've worked with brands like Regis, I've worked with Bank of America, I've worked with Microsoft. And it's funny, even like with Regis, I did a series of online commercials for them. They changed their marketing. I haven't done something in a while, but I still get people who are looking for office space who'll say, hey, I know that you've done work with Regis. Do you have a code? Can you tell me what to do? Because they remember, they weren't looking for office space at the time, but they've still logged that point. The same thing with Microsoft, even though I was working with things like the office team and the small business teams, people, when they want to buy a Microsoft Surface Pro, call me up and say, how do I go about doing that? And I have enough information about the brand that I can point them to the Microsoft store. So having those long-term relationships, one is just more authentic for your brand. It doesn't seem like there's all these sort of one-off, like, hey, I'm pay to play. You really get to align with that influencer, and then you really get to resonate with their audience over time. and it can be extremely cost effective on a sort of a per impression basis. And so it's it's really taking technology and putting it behind that word of mouth.
Fantastic. I think that's really helpful to people. Thank you.
Thanks.